Hey gamers, it's Wintermute here from Grind This Game, and the new update for Oxygen Not Included is available in the preview branch now. It's going to be in testing for the next 2 weeks, I think, and then it's going to go live. It's still a work in progress, I think, because there's a lot of stuff that there's temporary art and stuff, and some stuff doesn't quite work, but there is so much in this update. It's kind of crazy, actually. So the first thing you'll notice, the update's called the Occupational Update. I should get that out of the way now. I want to call it the hats update because there's some cool new funky hats that are tied into the new jobs and occupations. So if you look under the character kind of starting screen here, you see this new thing, interests. And basically, if you have an interest in a certain thing like cooking or digging or supply or building or research, there's a whole bunch of them, or art, you'll gain a mastery in that skill 50% faster. Now your stats still affect the use of that skill, but the actual mastery itself goes faster if you have an interest in it. They've moved the traits. They used to have negative traits over here. Now both traits show up here. And then a dupe can have multiple interests. Like this one has 3. So I'm going to jump into a game that I already have built and then can talk about some of the new stuff. So here's kind of a base that I have going. I've been using debug mode just to play around with things. And you'll notice they have these little hats. It's so cute. You probably saw, there's a post on the Klei forum with an image of all these cute hats. So one of the biggest things in this update, if you go into the jobs menu, top right here, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff. It's kind of overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff here. But your duplicates initially will be unassigned to a kind of an occupation. But you can kind of pick which ones they go with, either from this top menu or in here. So let's say I wanted Nails to be a miner, or he's already a miner right now. Let's say I wanted him to be a farmhand instead. So I can, now he's not unassigned. So you can see him up here. It shows kind of the best jobs that would be suited for Nails up in the top of the list, and then not as good as you kind of carry down. So let's assign him to research assistant. Now there's a bug right now where sometimes when you assign from here it doesn't quite work, but when you do it from here, we'll see he's now, where's Nails? He's a research assistant. And if you hover over the research assistant kind of title bar here, you can see the job priorities. So once they're assigned an occupation, they'll tend to do that job more frequently. And also the training, they get a +3 to learning boost, and they can use supercomputers. And each kind of role, there's a whole bunch of them, have different kind of boosts. I won't go over them all, but there's digging based ones, there's building based ones, and if you scroll down, there's cook, art, a gopher, which is like does delivery and sweeping, engineer, which uses machines. And now there's 5 tiers of these jobs, and if you kind of hover over these things at the top, once you've specialized in the kind of the first tier, there's a minor decor expectation of these guys, so they'll want better decorations in their base. And as you kind of go through these tiers, the expectations get higher. So there's a trade-off, I guess. You get way better skills, but you also have to give them better food and better decor to keep them happy, which kind of makes sense. It's basically more of a reason to grow good food and more of a reason to decorate your base as you specialize. And there's various tiers of the jobs. So like there's a regular basic farmhand, and then there's a farmer and seasoned farmer. And way over in the bottom, kind of far right here, you got exosuit engineer. So they can move around super fast in exosuits. We've got a mechanitronics engineer. Allows them to build conveyor belt systems, which is one of the other new things in this game. If you've ever played Factorio, conveyor belts are like a huge part of Factorio, and now they're being introduced into this game, which is pretty cool. So each occupation gets its own little kind of hat. The other nice thing about this occupation upgrade is you can see their progress. So the farmhand requires, so we can see Jean she's got all the experience for farmhand, so she's getting that bonus. And it only requires 250 experience points, but these higher tiers they require more experience. So like the second tier requires 500 experience points, and this third tier requires 1250, and so on and so on. The experience goes up quite a bit as you get more specialized. Tied into the whole occupation and jobs thing, the priority menu has changed. So if you open up the prioritize menu, it only goes from 1 to 5 now, but there's this special little star here. So duplicants that have specialized will tend to do their jobs first. So like, let's say they're good at cooking. They'll automatically do cooking kind of ahead of everything else. But you can turn that system off with this little star here. If you read the message, duplicants will perform standard priority errands that match their job preference before other standard priority errands. If you toggle this on to strict, they'll just everyone will do everything kind of without their skills in mind. Yeah, you can see if you hover over these priorities, duplicants will perform errands in order of priority. All preferred jobs will be done before non-preferred jobs. So that's kind of nice. So your dupes that are good at various skills will do those things first. Now, the days of giant mealwood farms are probably over because mealwood has changed. A lot of the plants have changed. So mealwood now requires dirt, 10 kilograms per cycle. Not fertilizer, but just dirt. You do start with some dirt, but mealwood's not going to be one of those kind of infinity foods. I think bristle blossom might become one of the next kind of awesome foods again. It needs light to work. So like, I got some shine bugs up here, so this stuff's growing properly. It also needs 20 kilograms of water per cycle, either hand delivered using a planter box, or if you use a hydroponics tile, you can deliver water that way. You'll notice meal lice has a minus decor bonus, I guess because it's kind of an ugly plant. Minus 10 decor. But bristle blossom has a plus 15 decor bonus, so that's cool. Using lights is now kind of useful because things like bristle blossom require light. Now, there's also new workstations. So under stations, we have a farm station. We've got a power control station. So this little farm station, it converts fertilizer into plant food. And you assign a dupe to it. So like, I could assign Jean to it here. And she'll come along, and once in a while, she'll turn fertilizer into plant food, which boosts the output of the farm. Also, there's a whole bunch of new rooms. So if you go into the room overlay, we can see there's a bunch here. There's power plant, greenhouse, machine room, recreational room. So the greenhouse requires a farm station. So this wouldn't be a farm, wouldn't be a greenhouse without this farm station. The power plant requires this this power control station. And to use this, you need a certain job, which we don't have yet. So there's a general engineer, but then you need electrical engineer, which is kind of the upgraded version of that to use this station. Now, if you click the power control station, it says refined metal per use. So this might actually consume a refined metal. I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't gotten to that point. But that's what it seems like. And you can see it gives a boost to coal generators, hydrogen, manual, natural gas, and petroleum generator. So is that new room type? Machine shop. I haven't played around with that yet. In fact, I don't think the machine for it exists yet, but I'm not quite sure. Recreation room. I guess it just needs a recreational building and a decoration item. So like a massage table and a painting probably. Actually, let's just build one and see. Okay, there we go. It's got some art and massage table, and it shows up as a recreation room. Nice. Now another major update is the conveyor belt system. And I've kind of built a simple one here for the coal generator. So here are the pieces. This ore transfer arm, it will pick up things around it. Like let's say I had some coal on the ground here. It would pick up the coal, and then you put a conveyor inbox beside it, and you pick what you want to go inside of it. So I've picked consumable ore. So if there was coal on the ground here, it would pick it up, put it in this inbox, and this doesn't hold very much. It's full at 1,000 kilograms. And then you'd build a conveyor belt out of it, and on the other side you need an output box or the thing won't run. So it'll put coal in here, deliver it along here into the output box, which also doesn't have a lot of room. And then I've got another conveyor arm here, and it can take out of the outbox and put into a coal generator. So this is just a very basic setup, but if we delete this coal generator, so we can see now this arm is picking up the coal out of the conveyor outbox and putting it in the coal generator for us. So very cool. So it can take out of an outbox and put it into machines. It can also take out of an outbox and put it into storage. It can do quite a few things. So let's put a storage box in here, regular storage compactor, and select consumable ore. Now I would think it should take out of here and put it in the compactor, but it doesn't seem to work like that, unless I'm missing something. It can also be used for like basic cleanup tasks. So if we put a regular compactor here and told it to pick up everything, this thing, look at it, it'll grab everything on the floor and fill the compactor for you. It's quite fast, actually. It fills up a container really fast. So if you got a huge pile of junk on the floor, you could put one of these in temporarily. It would pick everything up for you. Pretty cool stuff. Now it only works for solids, I think, which kind of makes sense. And you can see the range. If you click it, you can see its range, how far it can pick up stuff. So there's going to be some pretty crazy possibilities with this. I think it's going to be useful for fertilizer makers, so you could pick up all the fertilizer and then deliver it off into your growing rooms. That's one possibility. Or you could just deliver coal into remote places. That's all under ore transport. So you got your conveyor inbox, your outbox, your conveyor rail, which is the actual belt, the ore transfer arm, and then the conveyor bridge allows you to build over top of. So if you wanted to crisscross some conveyor belts, you could do that. I haven't played around with that yet, but now this is new. Under automation, there's a new germ sensor. Very handy. I built one here, so it tells you how much disease is in the current area. I put one down in the water here, so you can put them in water as well. And we can see the current disease is 5,200 in this tile of water. So you could hook this up, for instance, to a tepidizer. Like if there's too many germs, you kick on the tepidizer, you boil the water, kill all the germs. There's new smart storage compactors. So you can hook these up into the automation network. They do require 60 watts of power, but you could do some pretty cool stuff like that with this. And similar to that, there's now a smart battery, which you can hook up into the automation network. And a lot of people have been asking for these. They're super cool. So logic input becomes active when charged above a certain threshold. It doesn't hold as much power, but it gives off less heat. There's a new kind of power, steam power. So under power we got steam generator. It takes liquid input and has a liquid output. I built one here. I haven't been able to get it working. Saturna says he's able to get it working. And I think he put it in a room of steam that was over 200 degrees Celsius that had 5 kilograms of pressure. I tried that out. I couldn't get it going. I tried to feed it hot water. But because it has a liquid input and a liquid output, you would think you would send steam to it and then maybe out, or put water in and steam out, or steam in or water out, but steam is a gas, so you can't really send steam as a liquid in. I haven't figured out how to get it working. I don't think it's quite finished yet. But the one cool thing about it is it generates 8,000 watts of power. So this is going to be a power beast if we can get it going. And I can see opportunities using magma to heat up water, turn it to steam, and get this thing to generate tons of power. Clean power. And it doesn't seem like there's any outputs, like no pollutants. So that'll be cool. Here they all are sleeping with their specialized hats. Looks pretty cute. You may notice that your dupes are a little bit slower overall, and I have a feeling that's because they're not leveling up athletics as fast. You'll notice that athletics is also affecting carrying capacity now, which is pretty handy. Strength is gone. Oh, one other key thing. For instance, Mealwood used to give, I think, a 33% chance to give you a seed. Now, if you notice down here, the base seed harvest chance is 10%. But if you go under jobs, you'll notice that certain jobs like farmhand, for instance, or farmer, it increases the seed harvest chance. I'm not sure what the exact numbers are. It doesn't show you. That way you'll be getting more seeds if you specialize some people in farming. I have a feeling you'll have to specialize someone in research to use the supercomputer, because that shows up under that job, under the research job. Can use supercomputers. I'm guessing regular people can't, but I haven't tested that. It's a nice visual way of seeing, what they're good at, and if they're kind of doing the right or the wrong jobs. So that's just a quick overview of all the new stuff. I probably missed some stuff, and it's going to change a bit over the next 2 weeks, I think. And the art's going to change, and I want to get I'll be playing with the steam turbine once it's working. I'll probably start a new base from scratch just to test everything out. But I'm looking forward to playing with all the new skills and specialties, and it's going to be fun. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.